Yo! Welcome to the HolocronCast. I am your host, Delusional, here with my other host, Young Hippie, and my
How's
other
it going
host,
today?
Spott.
Yerp.
We're here to talk about Star Wars. That's what we do. This is episode 3, Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the
So,
whole nerds at that. And we talk about Star Wars in its entirety. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's go ahead and personify what we mean. When my man Delusional says we talk about Star Wars, it's not just going to be one base topic. We're jumping from movies to TV shows to books to video games. Yo, we're going all over the map.
facts.
Because we
Big
got
facts.
knowledge from all corners of the universe from this stuff. Because, what did we touch base on last week was mostly like Ahsoka and what we're hoping for next, right?
Indeed.
That's what we saw. I mean, if you're asking me, since we touched on so much Ahsoka last week, I think it would benefit to trail back to the Clone Wars when Ahsoka was getting active. Okay? Let's talk about that. Before we even talk about the Clone Wars, let's just talk about Ahsoka in general. Because she ain't really talked about. And I did a lot of research when her character came out after she got older and stuff like that. You know that she was so powerful that she killed Inquisitors with her bare hand. I didn't even know that. I didn't know
I didn't know that.
I had no idea she was that strong. She
She's
killed
the only
Inquisitors with her
pilot.
bare hand.
Yeah, she's the only pilot that's ever got away from Vader legitly.
Yep. Yep,
Damn.
because she's Anakin's apprentice. She's always going to get away. And that's what frustrated Vader the most. He knew, Anakin might be dead, but I know who this person is. And I know I'm never going to be able to beat this person. I'm never going to be able to get away from this person because like this is me right here. And that's what got him. But she is herself, it was just funny because every time I saw her in Clone Wars, every lesson that Anakin taught her confused her. And it got me because he was basically trying to tell her without telling her, I know what we are, but you got to do what you believe in. If you think it's right, just do it. But you got to do it in a way that's righteous. And, but she would always tell him, but you don't always do what you're told. So why do I always got to do what I'm told? And he's always telling her. He even told her once, I'm not saying you always have to do what you're told. You just have to make sure you do it the right way. And she applied that a lot. She always went on missions she knew she wasn't supposed to. Like the time when, like before this, when we were talking about the Malevolence, that big ship that had the EMP on it, when the crew got stranded out there, she wanted to go out there because she knew there were survivors, but nobody really they didn't want to waste the time or the resources. Her and Plo Koon went out there anyway though, and we mentioned
Fucking Plo
him.
Koon.
You know what I'm saying? We mentioned him, didn't we? About their connection and stuff that. Because aren't they like the same? Aren't they the same, right? They're the same race, right?
He brought her to. No, they're not the same race. No, not at all. But he did. He's the one who brought her to the temple.
Right.
Oh,
That is right.
I didn't even know that, but that actually makes sense because Filoni's favorite Jedi
Tales
is
of the
Plo
Jedi.
Koon,
Do you watch Tales of the Jedi, man?
Yes, you got.
I've seen it. I had forgotten though.
Yeah. It even outlines the story. Like I love how they outline Ahsoka's beginner story about how like she started and how powerful they knew she was already gonna be off the top.
She beat that like tiger. Was that like saber-tooth tiger thing? She was riding that bitch
as a baby.
No man, when she tamed it, I was in shock. I was like, bro. And then if we're going to Tales of the Jedi, let's talk about one of my favorite R.I.P. to Granddad. R.I.P. to him in real life because he really is dead for real. So R.I.P. to that actor. I forget his name every time.
But talking about Christopher Dooku?
Yeah, the one who played Dooku. Yeah. Bro, when you seen how he became Count Dooku, all I said was I sat back and said, "Oh my god."
I legitly just put that episode on last night and watched it just because I love that episode.
It just made so much sense. I seen
I like
why he
seeing
was.
Yaddle get killed
Yo, that
because I
Yeah.
was
that was.
curious. I was curious about Yaddle. I was really curious
She
about
pushed
Yaddle.
that.
What
Yo,
happened to Yaddle?
she pushed that door all the way back up just to fall over dead. What the fuck was the purpose?
Yeah. Hey, look, she
Right.
tried, man. All I know is
Pride.
it's always they need to do what Marvel did. They need to do a Star Wars what if. What if
For
Yaddle
real.
lived? What
For
if they
real,
found
no.
Sifo Dyas? What
Or
if the
Well, technically,
what if Anakin lived? What if Anakin or Darth Vader lived? You know what I'm saying? Like and
Yeah,
technically,
what if
became
he lived?
light side.
those
That would have
would
been dope,
those
bro.
would be dope.
Mm,
But the Star Wars stories aren't technically told from an omnipotent point of view, as Sam Witwer said
right.
and Dave Filoni said. They are tellings from other people's point of view, so we may get different stories depending upon what we're
Yeah.
reading.
Have you heard of
Right.
those books from a certain point of view?
I don't think so. I don't think I have no.
There's
Oh, so
I
good,
haven't
so
read
good.
them. I haven't read them, but I've heard about them and I've heard people talk about them. But there's like they talk about like how like just literally from other people's points of view, like the different events of Star Wars. Like I'm trying to think of an example. But like it'll be like for instance like I don't know if this is an actual story, but
Mhm.
let's say Wicket the Ewok's point of view on the Battle of Endor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like it's
okay.
that type of
Okay.
thing.
Oh,
It's that
so it
type of
would be
thing.
Even
like okay,
something as
so
little as like in this story we see that Ahsoka is carrying blue lightsabers, but in another story it says she's carrying white lightsabers. You never know.
Right, right.
right,
Something that
right, or
small
it
could
would
be
be something
different.
like a or
Exactly.
I think I know what you're talking about. So like if it was going back to episode 3, that one battle where they all dropped in to go get General Grievous, Commander Cody and Obi-Wan, that story would be from Commander Cody's point of view when they were in space,
Exactly.
when they dropped in, and oh,
Yeah,
that's
some things
cool.
could be
Yeah.
missing,
I didn't
some
know they
things
had
could
that.
be retold a little
Right.
bit
Yeah.
differently, just slightly
Right.
differently.
Because
Mm.
it's literally from their point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Right, because
because you're kind of going by the narrative. You know, the narrator is like you said. What did you say? Omnipotent. It's
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
omnipotent. They
it's
know everything that's going on. It's the narrator point of view.
right,
The audience
right, right,
perspective.
right. Right, yeah, but it's cool. It's
right.
cool that they did that. But yeah, that would be cool to see some what if stuff. Like I really, I've
For real.
always wanted to see the light side Darth Vader. Like, what would the New Republic have done with him? What would
Yeah.
would they have they? I mean, realistically, if all the political side of it and everything, they would have had to lock his ass up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He would have had no
But
choice, unfortunately.
yeah,
Yo,
but like,
hey,
what if
what if Vader never asked Luke to take off his helmet? He would have lived with Luke. He would have been
Yeah,
redeemed,
yeah.
and he would have continued
This
to
is true.
live.
Yep,
This is
yep.
true. This is very
But they
true.
would have they would have hung his ass for all them war crimes, bro. Like
Yeah, they would
I
have.
mean
Honestly,
They
I
would
don't
have
know
had
what
no
was.
choice.
Well, he still would have
Anakin
been
or not.
Vader. So could they have? But
yeah,
Yeah.
he
here's
had
the
to
thing.
die, bro. He had to
He
die,
had
bro.
to.
Palpatine, yeah, he has to, but fucking Palpatine is the one who made the real mistake. Palpatine knew Anakin and Vader's driving force was just to not let his family die. So if he's going to try to kill his son in front
Mm-hmm.
of him, what did he think Vader was going to do? Save his
I know,
family. That
right?
was the
This is
whole
true.
purpose.
This
That's
is the truth.
real.
But then
That's
again,
all he
hey,
had left. That's all he had left of Padme.
That was a
You know what I'm
yeah,
flaw
the
saying?
in
two kids. Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine's plan.
But
He slipped up.
Yeah, yep,
but at
yep.
the but at the end of the day, though, I still feel like even if they made a what if and Vader survived, I still feel like he would have ended up dying anyway because
He would have.
chosen one is the balance. He has no
Yeah.
Yeah,
essentially it sets it up to where it looks like he has no choice
yeah.
Oh, but this is a
because
what
I
if.
love
a
that.
balance
This,
thing.
I fucking love.
like, like
Yeah,
I love the balance thing. Like I'm so happy they really ended up doing something with the whole chosen one thing.
me too.
Because it's like for a while I was like, what happened to this chosen one thing? Is there multiple chosen ones? Because Ray
mm,
came in later on. You
right.
know, So I was like, what's going on here? But I like how they actually they show like what that actually means now. You know what I mean? At least to a certain extent, you know?
Definitely.
Right. Now
Hey,
I
one
wish
thing.
if
Go
we're
ahead. Go ahead.
talking. No. You good? Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying, like, one other thing they could do with the what ifs is, like, what if Luke had controlled himself and not went after Ben? You know? What if he didn't ignite his lightsaber? What if he was standing there, but he never ignited his lightsaber?
Right.
That'd be interesting.
It could change
That would be,
complete
bro.
story. Or what if the Skywalker line
It
was
would change the
Twi'leks?
structure of the
What
whole
if they
thing.
were all Twi'leks?
I feel like that would have opened up a lot of Ezra was actually gone at that time by that time, but like if it wasn't for Luke choosing to be a Jedi, like the Empire would have definitely won, bro, because Ezra was gone, and Ahsoka was kind of like on the whatever shit, you know what I mean? Until she almost died.
Yeah, change species. Change species. All the Skywalkers are Hutts.
that would have been funny as fuck. That was my favorite part of the Boba Fett series, by the way, was how they brought in the Hutts.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, the Hutts are crazy. I'm like, the last thing I've ever seen with the Hutts actually is what is that game that's on PC? Star Wars: The Old Republic. I like play that game religiously, and there's like a whole story arc because all this is the Old Republic. So I think this story, I want to say it's 4,000 years before all of this stuff because this is like Darth Revan. So it's like, but the Hutts are like a big deal. It's like they're all corrupting, like even the Sith, the Jedi. Like you do this whole story arc where you end up killing a couple Hutts if you're a Sith, or you still kill them if you're a Jedi. But like the whole story is like way more like the Hutts are way more involved than you would think. Like it's not just the criminal underground. They have their hand in. I'm telling you, they have Sith under their control. It's not even working for them. It's to the point where like they got Sith that like owe them, and it's like, oh, I can yank you from where you at to come handle this for me because hey, you owe me so many millions of credits for something I handled for you.
Damn, I mean, the Hutts really, they were the gangsters though. You know
And
what I
you
mean?
know what they called it? They didn't call it the criminal underworld like they called it then. They actually had a criminal syndicate back then in the old days called the Exchange. That's what it was. It was like the syndicate, basically. The criminal underworld. It was ran by Hutts. It was ran by Sith. There was sections of this stuff. And this is all in a video game, mind you. This is what kills me about Star Wars.
I got a theory that the Hutts are really just racist symbolism for Italians. Just look, they're mobsters as a motherfucker, and they're fat as shit.
I mean, it kind of
with the
mobster
I'm
thing.
Italian,
Like,
I can say that. I'm Italian, I can say that.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
You hear them come in and their tails go wop, 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 wop.
Damn!
Don't put that shit on. Don't put that shit up. Cut that shit out.
I got to cut that out.
I'm so done with my life. But I really like how they touch base on the Hutts in the Clone Wars with Jabba the Hutt, and then Jabba the Hutt. I want to say his nephew,
the little baby Jabba.
No, not the little one. Then that must mean that's his cousin. I don't think it's his brother, but it's Zorro the Hutt.
I know who you're talking about. He kind of
the
like
flamboyant one. I think it's his cousin. I can't remember. Yeah, his cousin. He had so much pull in the war that it was ridiculous. He had a bounty hunter working for him 24/7, and that bounty hunter was Cad Bane, one of the hardest bounty hunters to boot. Cad Bane, Jedi couldn't even best him, bro. He was always
Cad Bane was a beast.
3 steps ahead of Anakin, bro.
Do you think he's dead?
I don't think Cad Bane's dead for real.
I hope
I don't think so, bro. Because
I hope he ain't, because they underutilized the shit out of him. If that's the case, in live action,
he had a skill set that he put Jedi on their toes, bro.
Right.
Like it's to the point where you don't. Yeah, Jango Fett, Boba Fett, whatever. But to the fact that that kind of bounty hunter really had them scrapped around the whole city like that, it was like a Scooby Doo episode for them, for real.
Dude, he's the one
Trying
back
to
in the
catch
day.
this man.
He shot Boba Fett in the cod piece. That's why he's got that dent in his little dick armor. That's Cad Bane. He shot him in the fucking. He tried to shoot him in the dick.
I remember, but he was. I remember though, Cad Bane to me will always be the best bounty hunter for the sole fact that he was the only bounty hunter that got with the Sith and did the job. He was the one that stole he was the one that stole the holocron to get to the Sith to find all the Jedi children. And apparently they've been trying to hire bounty hunters to do this for like a long time and they could never succeed. And Cad Bane was the only person. Yo, and it took him no time at all to get this holocron at that. Took him less than like he got in and out of that building like it was nothing. There's no way you gonna sit here and tell me that that kind of bounty hunter is just gone because with that kind of skill set to even match the great Anakin Skywalker.
Did Boba kill him? I can't remember. Was it Cobb Vanth?
No,
he killed Cobb Vanth, but then they showed at the end how Cobb Vanth wasn't really dead.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and rewatch it. It's been a while.
I forget who even killed him.
Cad Bane was so good.
I can't.
Cad Bane was so good they used him in Mission Impossible 2.
I wish they would have used him. They could have used him as an element to get him like, if they would have had him alive, like relevant, putting him next to Thrawn as Thrawn's like personal bounty hunter.
That would have been dope because they're both blue too.
Dude, personal bounty hunter of Thrawn, mind you, bro. Like, yo, that man is getting everything done. Like, they would have had a problem.
That's who they could. They could. You know, that would be a dope. They could still do that. You know what I mean? Like they could still do that. That would be dope if they did.
Because
for real,
he was such an influential character, even as a bounty hunter. Because usually bounty hunters don't really make that big of a name like that in Star Wars. For real, for real. They're kind of like, I won't say bit pieces. Like they're influential to a point, and then when they meet that certain standard, they kind of just fall off. But Cad Bane, and then what was the other guy? I forget his name. The one that always was like the drunk pirate that was like Obi-Wan Kenobi's sworn enemy. And I forget his name every single time.
Anakin Skywalker?
He's like... No,
right, yeah. You mean Maul?
No, it was not him and it wasn't him. It was another bounty hunter, and I'm probably not going to get his name.
IG-88, Dengar, Bosk, Forlom.
No.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see Bosk. I thought we were gonna see Bosk in the Book of Boba Fett with all them Trandoshans.
Right?
Yeah, you would think so, and I don't understand why we didn't. That kind of
I don't really like the what is it?
Bosk helped raise Boba Fett.
I don't even like the what's the other species, man? The main like drug runners in Book of Boba Fett. I forget the names of them. They first came up in Solo Star Wars story.
The Rhodians?
Tuscans?
The ones with the masks, not the Tuscans. The ones with the masks that got caught by Cobb Vanth with the drugs on them.
Oh, when they got that box of spice.
I can't remember.
I forget the name of them though. But yeah, like I don't really like them though. You know, what Pikes Syndicate.
Yeah, the Pike Syndicate.
I think it was the Pike Syndicate.
Pike Syndicate.
Yeah. I don't like them. I don't know. I think it's their design. I don't know what it is about them. They're just annoying to me.
Hey, they're turning that Lando Calrissian TV show into a movie.
Are they really?
Good, because they don't need to spend that much time with Lando like that, man. Like that, they kind of. I feel like I love Lando, but I feel like they. Yeah, no. See, I didn't really like the Solo. I didn't like the Solo movie much at all, bro. Like,
not even Danny Glover's
he did good, but not off of. Yeah, he was good, but it's like that's Billy D. Williams, bro. Like you can't do Billy D. Williams like that. Like I just
Right.
didn't feel like it felt like a Lando. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have been a different character, maybe. I don't know, man. Like I don't know, bro. But like I just feel like it didn't feel like Lando to me, man. Like
Oh,
he didn't seem
Yeah,
suave enough.
I feel like right now they're trying to focus on a lot of backstory because they're trying to build up to something really big. And I think they're like doing all this extra stuff right now because if you've actually like, I've been keeping up with the Accolade, and that show's been on hold for like
Yeah.
months now. And so there must be obviously the strike and stuff that's going on right
Yeah.
now. You know, that's really sad. I hope those people get what they're asking for because that's not fair. We
Yeah, we
shouldn't,
need that
ask for
content, man.
hey, we shouldn't ask for entertainment on their behalf, but
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
H Lord, we want some content. Please give these people what they're
Yo,
asking for.
they
But
ain't wrong though, man. Because I mean, the music industry is the same way. Well, I won't start too hard on this, but like, yo, Spotify only pays you a fraction of a penny per stream, bro. And when I say a fraction, I'm talking like 0.000000001. You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
Like the entertainment industry is fucked up, bro. Like as far
That
as
is
people
now
that
that's
ain't already
delusional.
on top, people that ain't already on top, and this shit is fucked up, bro. But
I'm telling you.
that's another podcast right there. You know what I'm saying?
For another day. But
Yeah.
if we're jumping back
yeah.
to the Clone Wars, and when I was talking about bounty hunters, I want to talk about groups. And when you were talking about, oh, what if, like when we were saying, what if they would do what ifs? I think they should do a what if on the 501st, or like a point of view on the 50. The
That
501st, hands down, the greatest war squad ever.
that would
They
be
got the
dope.
job. Yo, the 501st, they touched base on them in the Clone Wars show very heavy, but I feel like they could have had their I feel like the 501st could have had their own movie if you're asking somebody like me. With how influential that squad was to Anakin Skywalker, he was their SEAL, they were his SEAL Team 6.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they was sent to go take out the hard squad, and they always got the job done no matter
And that was
what.
him, that was them with him at the Jedi Temple too, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was the
yeah.
50. Yeah, the guys in blue. I'm glad you
Yeah.
caught that in the third episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah. Of
so
course.
glad you caught that because everyone's always asking, who are those blue stormtroopers? Sir, that's his new hit squad. But to
Yeah.
That's
you,
the
you know them as the 501st.
501st Legion. They've been rocking with. That's Anakin's fucking squad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, you
Now
got
wait. I was about to ask a stupid question. I was gonna be like, did they turn into the stormtroopers in A New Hope? But no, they were
Nah,
clones. I'm
yeah.
tripping. I'm
Oh wait, in
tripping.
A New
I
Hope,
mean,
is that what you're
obviously,
saying?
like,
No, by the time A
Yeah,
New
the
Hope,
ones the first stormtroopers. Yeah, the first
no.
stormtroopers that came up with Darth Vader. I was like, no, that's not. No.
By the
Those
time
are
of
stormtroopers.
by the
They get
time of
hit.
A New Hope, yeah, they got they were stormtroopers. They had gone out to contracting regular people and got rid of clones because clones started having issues in
They
their
had
later
already.
age.
Yeah. It was already. Yeah, they were already
Yeah.
done with the clones. I watched the Bad Batch. That's why I was like, oh, that's a stupid question.
Yo, that Obi-Wan
Mhm.
series, seeing Cody on the fucking ground
Yeah.
begging,
Yo,
that was
Was that
sad.
Cody?
crazy.
Yeah, it was. They
Was that
confirmed
supposed
it.
to be Cody?
That was Cody.
Yep,
Nah.
It was confirmed.
yep.
I didn't know that.
If you go back and
Damn.
watch, Clone Wars, there's actually an episode where they mention and have deserted clones that actually deserted from the war and had children. You see the clones and their children and their wives and everything.
That's dope. I would like to
Yeah,
see
that was
something
an
like that.
interesting episode. That was an interesting episode because I
That
did
would be a
not
cool
know.
show right there too.
Yeah, to see the clones branch off
And
and
what's
like,
his name would have so much work, bro. Like
yeah,
the dude that
dude,
played Boba Fett.
yeah,
What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. The actor that plays Boba Fett, Jango Fett. You
no,
know what
I
I mean?
can't
Like,
remember his name.
yo, Tamara Morrison. He would get so much work if he was. I'm surprised
I'm
they
telling
didn't
you,
put him in the Ahsoka as some of them de-age him. You know what I'm saying? For
I'm
the
surprised
clone.
they didn't do a lot. I
Yeah, yeah.
really am. But that was surprising that they made that episode in Clone Wars because it also brought in the fact that like these clones are cloned, So when they have children outside of their clone DNA, they have like more than one children, the kid will look more so like them, but like the other kid, the dude's wife was an alien. So the girl
Right.
came out as an alien, and I'm like, oh, okay, shit.
I mean, that's kind of like the Twi'lek and like Jason Syndulla. Like, he just got green hair. That's the only
Yeah,
thing he
yeah, he just
inherited
got
from
great.
Hera.
But that's crazy though. Your kid
Yeah,
can
right.
come out. Your kid can come out either way. You can come out like a Twi'lek with
Yeah,
human features, or a
yeah,
human with Twi'lek features.
yeah. That's weird, bro. Like, what do you expect with
Yeah.
that?
But that's actually crazy because, like, as a human, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm telling you but that opens up a lot of possibilities for a lot of crazy force sensitive
That's
because
true.
certain because they also touch base on a lot of different species that are force sensitive. The
Mm-hmm.
ones that can feel the force sensitivity in animals and stuff like that. Like like you can trace that back to Star Wars. What is that? Knights of the Old Republic 2 with Visis Mar and I want to say Darth Nullius. That's his name, the planet eating Sith, the one whose power was so great that he hungered for power that he had to drag
Yeah,
people
Nihilus.
through the planet.
I
Darth,
remember.
Like yo,
Yeah, I've heard
those
about
Nihilus.
that.
people were blind
Nihilus.
and they can only see.
Nihilus.
Yeah, they can only see through the Force. So imagine if she procreated with someone that has some kids. Yo, those kids would be smacked powerful.
Right, right.
Smacked. That like they got so many possibilities, bro. And then I just wish, especially when they did that episode with the children, when it was the episode in Clone Wars when Hu Yang had the children. It was like one or I want to say actually 3 or 4 episodes where he took a group of children to the temple on Ilum to get their crystals and build their lightsaber, and it was the time they introduced the first Wookiee Jedi.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
yeah,
dope.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wish they would have elaborated more on those specific ones because we lost track of the Wookiee Jedi after that, bro. We don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
if that character died during Order 66 or what.
Yeah, and you know what? That brings up the whole. Well, we've been seeing a lot of the Mandalorian Jedi happening
Right,
lately. You know what I
right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
not just between what like I know the dark saber doesn't mean they're a Jedi, but they put that in with Mandalorian culture, and then they have Sabine now is training as a Jedi. Um,
Right.
Satine.
I mean, huh?
No.
Satine. No, I'm talking shit about
Satine, what?
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. He
Oh,
was in love with
oh, yeah,
Satine.
Satine. Yeah, yeah,
No.
that's right. Yeah, I forgot
You
about her. Yeah, yeah, I forgot
you
about
gonna
her.
leave his love interest alone. He loved that
I
woman.
forgot about her.
My man looked at her and said, "Hey, that was the I didn't know he had it like that." He looked at her and said, "Satine, if you would have asked me to leave, I would have laid down my sword." I said, "Okay, Zesty. Okay, Zesty. I didn't know you had it like that, Obi-Wan.
Right?
You
Of
had him
all people.
fawning. My bad, G. My bad. That's crazy. I didn't know Obi-Wan had the soft, but he was too much of a good guy to care. Crazy."
See, it's cool. It's crazy. It's cool to see that though. Like the like we talked about last week though. Like how all the Jedi really in all the time, all the ways they had to break rules, bro. Like of the
They
Jedi
had
Order.
to.
Like is if they wanted to be quote unquote human or alien, whatever you want to call it, what they are. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they had to break rules to live like a good life, I guess you could say. You know what I'm
An
saying?
A
Like
actual
happy
life.
life.
yeah, yeah. Word.
Because
And
essentially they live a Buddhist lifestyle.
right.
They didn't
Like,
want, like, the true path to enlightenment is no earthly attachments, no nothing. That's how you gain real power. Connect with the living force, and that's all you'll
mm,
really need.
yeah, like
And that
straight
was one of
monks.
their downfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you say, and that's what no one ever put those pieces together. You say that it's to, exile all anger and blah, 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 blah. And you say you're keepers of the peace, but when war comes around, you're nowhere to be found and you don't get involved unless you feel like you absolutely need to, even when
And
it's
I
obvious that you need to.
And I feel like it creates anger at the same time. That's why
Yeah.
the Jedi Order just don't work, bro. Like
Anger,
Yeah, it's a flawed
hostility.
because
system
there's a
because
lot
the
of
what?
resentment, from the
Yeah.
Jedi that are learning and the Padawans and
To me,
whatnot.
what's
Yeah,
the
you got to
biggest thing
think
in
those
a
are young
Jedi
kids
should
and they
learn?
don't understand. Like,
A
yeah,
Jedi
they don't
should learn
understand. Like,
love. They should learn love. And how are they supposed to
Yeah,
learn all forms of love if they can't fall in love with someone to live with?
yeah, right.
and not even that. Like when they see things
Kids.
like that, because like you've seen it happen. You've seen it happen when they see that, oh, like, why aren't we getting involved? Oh, because they told us not to. When they tell us to, we'll get involved. Yo, people are getting killed. Oh, it doesn't matter. We haven't gotten the order to get involved, but we're peacekeepers. We should be keeping the peace right
Hey,
now. Oh, no.
that's
We're
why I
going to
got
sit
a
back and
Darth
watch.
Raven tattoo, because they told him, no, don't go interfere with that shit. And he said, fuck you, people are dying. We're going where we're needed. We listen to the living force.
Hell
Yo,
yeah.
Darth Revan is the only Jedi I respect because he fucks with the light side and the dark side, bro. He knows that he's not a great Jedi. He's a Sith because of all his accolades, but he also knows that there cannot be a light without a dark. So you have to be a Jedi and you gotta be a Sith. You gotta do shit the right way, but you gotta go on that quest for power all at the same time. You
He
gotta
was
keep a
so strong.
balance.
He was so strong that whenever he was struck down by a Sith, his energy in the Force physically held his physical body together so he could live long enough to kill the Sith that killed him.
Yo, Darth Revan was no joke, bro. That
Damn.
man right there. That man right there. Let me
Very
tell you
powerful.
something. Darth Revan shaped shaped the Sith in a way that people don't understand. Like his Sith assassins, like the experiments, like he would abduct people that were strong in the Force and just turn them out into the killing machines because he knew how to do it.
Oh yeah.
And because he was so powerful, he had this one ability that no one had. And if you go back and play both of the Star Wars The Old Republic games on the Xbox, they touch base on that. It's the Force bond. He was the only person at that time, in that time period, who just his nature, his who he was, doesn't matter. He could talk to a person for 5 minutes and that person would want to die for him. And that was just who he was. And they would, if you play the game, the dialogue between the characters after they've been with you so long, they'll say that. They'll look at you and tell you there's just something about you that just makes me want to follow you. Even if it's in a certain doom or if it's a suicide mission, I'd go anywhere with you because you're just so powerful. And they knew this about Darth Revan, bro. And like that's why a lot of people kind of didn't like him because it's like, yo, they know these people are gonna follow you. So it's up to you about what you do. And that nigga waged a war on a bunch of people that sat around and did nothing.
Yeah.
They sat
He
around
did
and did
fucked up shit
nothing. That
too. He
was
did
the
a lot of fucked up shit.
hey, look, the man, him
At
and
the
the
end of the
man,
day, that's really what Star Wars. I mean, what it happens, bro.
Can I have a
Like
Darth?
it's just a
yo,
bunch of fucked up shit happening.
listen,
Like-
him and the Mandalorian Wars is severely underrated. I really love the Mandalorians because it touches base on the Mandalorian. I love Revan and the Mandalorians because those guys don't nobody really know. They have a really solid history.
Dog,
Like after the
dog.
Jedi Civil
I'm with
War,
you. I know. I not only have Mandalorian tattoos, I have like 4 Mandalorian tattoos, but I also have a Darth Revan tattoo. I am with you 100%,
hey,
man.
yo, him and the Mandalorian War. Let me tell you something. When I broke down, like when these games actively break down his time in the Mandalorian War and stuff like that, it talks about Clan Ordo, how they started, what the term Mandalore actually means,
Yeah,
like the
the
head
Mandalore.
Mandalorian, like it tells you exactly what it means, like why he's always encased in a suit of armor. Like it doesn't really touch base on the dark saber at that point in time, because remember that's like 4,000 years before all
That's
of this stuff. But it
was it
touches
Paz Vizsla? Paz Vizsla? Is that who made it?
yeah.
yeah, Paz Vizsla, yeah, and it was yo. Let me tell you something. The Mandalorians, they may have went to war with Revan, but they lost to him, and they lost to him knowing that they were going to lose. But they ended up respecting their worst enemy for the sole fact that he put up a valiant fight. The Mandalorians are like the Saiyans, bro. They're a warrior race. They'll do anything in the name of their race and pride. And they fought Revan because they wanted control and they wanted everything, but he wasn't about it. And Malachor 5 was the stage. The Star Forge, bro, I wish they would touch base on the Star Forge for real. The Star Forge is such a powerful weapon that it's just like you want the Dart. Listen, the Death Star could never. Let me tell you, the Death Star could never, bro. Took a whole planet to power that thing, bro. And Malachor 5 and the whole story, I just wish that they touched so much more based on Darth Revan. I feel like they're trying to. I just hope they make like movies and TV shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean
They need to.
his statue was on Exegol if I'm not mistaken.
On which one?
It was on the Exegol in the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, Darth Revan was on next.
Yeah.
Wasn't Darth Crate have one too, right?
Yeah, I believe
they
so.
made,
I
and that was
don't
funny
think Bane
because
did. I didn't see Darth Bane though. I don't
no,
remember seeing
I don't
him.
think they mentioned.
Yeah, I
him, but
don't remember Bane.
I remember that day.
That's something I want to talk about though. What do y'all think? Like, no, not just Bane, but the Sith planet of Exegol. Okay,
Mhm.
what were? I mean, they've kind of explained it a little bit, but from what I understand, those were Sith wraiths, as in spirits, the crowd of Sith that were like cheering Palpatine on and whatnot.
Right.
That's what they were. Am I wrong about that? They were like ghosts, basically, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
they're
Like
race.
specters.
Yeah, specter spirits
Yeah.
of dead Sith
something like
lords and masters and shit. Yeah.
Okay. Because he was like,
also absorbing them into himself as well.
Yeah,
he was using
I am all
them.
of the Sith. Blah, blah, blah. I am all the Jedi. The worst writing in the world, but
I always took Exegol as kind of like the Sith Jeffrey Epstein Island, you know?
Yeah.
Oh no! He drove there, bro.
Yo.
Oh man,
Hey, we don't know what they did there. We don't have the flight records. We don't know what they did.
Right? I mean, look where Palpatine just came back from there, so we don't know what's happening.
Yeah, hey, he returned somehow. Come on now.
Somehow.
So
somehow that motherfucker came. Somehow Palpatine came, okay?
Yo, he literally got himself out. Like, he cheated death. How do you just keep doing that? Like, y'all really be that powerful? You can split yourself into like multiple people. That's crazy.
He can transfer his energy into other bodies.
You talking about Palpatine?
And that's crazy.
Yeah. That's what
See,
he was.
The problem with Plagueis was Plagueis didn't want to do that. Plagueis wanted to learn to live forever without creating other bodies. He wanted to learn to live with his, and that wasn't possible.
Right.
So Palpatine figured out a way to do what he wanted to do. Took all the knowledge. Actually, he killed him the night that he gave that powerful speech in the Senate. Anakin was there saying some shit too, and then him.
Yeah, it was episode 1, right?
Plagueis.
During that time, right?
Yeah, he got Plagueis because Plagueis saw Anakin, and then that night Palpatine got Plagueis super drunk and murdered him in his sleep.
I remember. I read that somewhere. We might have even watched the same video on it. I don't know. I don't remember.
There's like 60,000 videos on it.
Yeah. See, so
but we watched it.
Yeah. No, but yeah, and that's another thing. Like, outside of the Sith, like okay, they're about to do the Rey movie with the New Jedi Order, whatever that's supposed to be, because they're really doing this Gray Jedi thing lately, it seems. But I mean, what do y'all feel like Rey is gonna be capable of? I mean, I'm kind of worried about that movie, bro. Like, because of the Rise of Skywalker, bro. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I like it for what it is. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw everything coming a mile away when it came out. You know what I mean?
Are they trying to make her like she is a Skywalker, right?
Well, not by blood, by adoption, basically. Like, she took the name.
She's a Palpatine by blood.
Yeah,
she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
Well, she's Palpatine's clone's
Clone's,
daughter.
yeah,
So
Palpatine's clone's daughter. Yeah.
Sort of his granddaughter. Yeah, like he's
But
so
his
like
clone
yeah.
had no force power or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know what they're going to set this up for, to be completely real with you, because that could also be another her trying to set up the next Jedi Order thing. I mean, she could. I. Does that fall under the same timeline as Ahsoka? Like, could they find each other at that point in time?
Well, we don't know what
No.
happens to Ahsoka's either in the other galaxy during the Rise of
Yeah,
Skywalker, or she's dead.
no.
We don't know.
Rise of Skywalker hasn't happened yet because
No,
Thrawn
not
has
yet.
to
No.
fall. The First Order has to rise,
No,
and then it's after the First Order.
There's still like 20 more years before the Rise of Skywalker from that time from Ahsoka. Because Ben Solo is like 5 to 10 years old during Ahsoka, I think.
Right.
Oh, but speaking something on the next movies after Episode 9 with the Rey movies.
Mhm.
If R2D2 and C3PO is in there, I want to know what really happened. Because if you think about it, R2D2, well, C3PO
Everything.
had his memory, but he had his memory banks wiped every fucking time on every mission.
But not R2.
Anakin refused. No, not C3PO. C3PO never had them erased.
Oh, really? I thought R2
my bad.
did.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
R2,
I was saying
yeah.
it back.
R2 never had
R2D2 never had erased. And at the end of Episode 9, C3PO basically killed himself, but R2D2 rebooted his memory in there. R2D2 had been storing banks of C3PO's memory the entire time. So he could have uploaded C3PO's memory from the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
Could be. There's a lot that could happen with that. Then
wow,
that's something I've been thinking about for years, and I've never told anyone.
Wow, R2, R2's been there for literally everything as far as the
Skywalker
saga,
and he always backed up C3PO's memory too.
Yeah. He's a good friend, man.
I remember,
really good friend.
The episode of Clone Wars where R2D2 got captured, and they actually jumped on Anakin because they figured out that he hadn't wiped his memory. And that's where they were like, yo, there are war secrets in there. What do you mean you haven't wiped his memory? We got to go get him. All of y'all's secrets from the beginning are in there, bro. Like, but I feel like Anakin pulled a very smart move, not wiping the memory banks, because R2 was never far away. He was never far away. He was always close, and he always knew how to keep himself alive, even in a dangerous situation, bro. That boy R2 knew how to get in and out.
He had the experiences to recall upon when hard shit happens.
I'm saying, so I feel like this
ever did, bro. Like, I feel like the day they would have been over, they would have lost like a lot. They would have, because like Anakin was
so.
Like, with him being the genius that he was, that man knew, all right, we got plans in front of plans in front of plans. And I got to keep them inside here, because if something happened to us, he can just boot up the plans and get it started without me having to do anything. Crazy. That man was a criminal mastermind. He just knew that. That just means that he knew the whole time he was running a gamble. It was if I do this, man, I'm running a risk of him getting kidnapped, man.
Oh, yeah. But so whenever C-3PO comes back into the shit, is he just going to know everything?
Yeah, I mean he might at this point.
It depends upon what R2-D2 wanted to upload.
Yeah,
what if he only uploaded embarrassing moments?
Yeah,
so
that's another thing about
just
R2.
thinking he was a fuck up the entire time.
Yeah, that's another thing. He's a good friend, but he's not that good of a friend.
He's a
He might have gave him what he wanted to give him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, you were being an asshole this day, so I'm not gonna upload this one. This day is not getting uploaded.
On Coruscant, the day 3 that you got the Coruscant, you hit on Padme.
Yo, I want to know. So I want to see. Okay, I remember there was in the comic books. There was a story about Darth Vader going. I don't know. It wasn't the World Between Worlds, but it was. He was on Mustafar, and you know. I don't know if y'all know the story of like the planet of Mustafar, where it was like used to be beautiful, and then some type of shit happened with the queen or
turned
king or
hellish.
whatever it was, and it turned hellish. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I remember this story in this comic book. They talked about how Vader saw like essentially he was like dreaming, I think, but he had like force legs and he
Right.
saw Padme. And I can't remember what exactly happened, but I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, Padme like kind of rejected him. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, what have you become type shit. And that's all we've heard at all since Pat. And I think it was more of a dream than it was, like Padme coming back from the dead. You know what I mean? But like, because she's not force sensitive.
I mean, then again, the living.
Unless you watch the not the Obi-Wan channel, then she comes back as a Force ghost all the time.
Oh no, I ain't seen that.
What, you ain't watched the not Obi-Wan channel?
I ain't seen it.
Oh my god, you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Yeah.
I got you after this.
I bet. No, but like, yeah, I want to see like what's good with. I mean, Natalie Portman, man. Like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, if anything, they could bring her back for some old scenes and shit from the Clone Wars and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like they need to do.
And
Like you said
Obi-Wan.
earlier, young hippie man. Like, I feel like they need to do like some live action type Clone Wars shit. Like, and they could easily do it nowadays with the de-aging. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For
if
real.
they do because the animated series, perfect. But if you started throwing in live action like stuff from the animated series, bro, it would make it so. I mean,
What?
it would take a lot of time to recreate seasons 1 through
Yeah.
8.
And you ain't got to recreate the entire 1 through 8. Like, just get the key moments.
Now, and they can shoot a lot of stuff in the void too, save a lot of money.
Right.
In parts, like 5 parts in the beginning, like the first 2 episodes at the beginning, the next 2 are the middle, and then the last one will be like a 2-hour episode where it's like the middle end of it.
I feel like they really need to do that because like they talk about the Clone Wars so much in the live action movies and shit. Like in the New Hope, that was like, oh, he was in the Clone Wars. You served my father in the Clone Wars. Blah, blah, blah. Like they need to really kind of show that to people that don't watch animated stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because there's a huge part of the audience, including myself in a way. Because I do love the animated stuff. I watched The Bad Batch. I've seen some of Rebels, but I mainly like learned about Rebels through YouTube videos, and just because I wanted to know
And
the
Clone
story.
Wars is a lot of time to invest to watch into a cartoon.
That's what I'm saying. Because there's a lot of filler. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, and I know that there's like key episodes, and I can go on YouTube and find out the key episodes and stuff that I need to know.
Yeah, but it's like 8 trillion hours.
Right, exactly. Like I don't want to go back and go. I want to, but I know I ain't gonna be able to. Type shit. You know what I mean? Like I want to see the Clone Wars in live action, at least the key moments. And I mean, I don't know if they really need to do that with Rebels so much, but Clone Wars, they need to do that live action somehow.
Yeah,
because what they did with Ahsoka with the Clone Wars, little like with Hayden Christensen and young Ahsoka, that shit was dope.
on the battlefield.
That was dope.
Yo, I wish they would have elaborated on that fight scene a little more because
and I heard there was theories too, or at least there were. I don't know if they were real leaks, but there were leaks that said that there was a lot more that they didn't actually put in the episode that was from the Clone Wars that they actually did shoot, but they didn't actually put in there.
Yeah, because they would have to. It would take too much away from the original story.
And I'm still a firm believer in like, why did they only have 8 episodes, bro? Like there's TV shows out there that have 12, 16 episodes, bro, like live action. You know what I mean? Like why they could have went hard with Ahsoka, bro, and I would have been there for every fucking minute, bro.
It's because nowadays they're falling under the trend where everyone is doing like a couple episodes and then making you wait 4 years for the next episode.
Yeah, bro. I hate that, bro. I hate that. I mean, but I feel like they could get away with it better if they were to have, gave us 10 like Andor was 12 episodes, I think, but they had 3 episode arcs with Andor, which kind of the middle. I noticed that with Andor, I loved Andor, but the middle episode between each arc, I think there were 4 total arcs, was always a little bit boring. You know what I mean? Because like you didn't really get the whole, because you knew the setup, but you knew it wasn't gonna end yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least you had figured it out by the second go around with the 3 arc thing, or if you had heard about it already. But like, yeah, like there was kind of a little bit of filler there. But like, if you didn't do the 3 episode arc thing, like they could have added some shit to Ahsoka and fleshed some things out, like more Thrawn, more Clone Wars, more Anakin. You know what I mean? Like
they could have fleshed out a lot more for real. They could have even touched up more because, like I said, Night Sisters were prominent in Clone Wars. You could have faced a lot more.
That too. That's what I'm saying. That we could have learned a lot about the Dathomir witches and whatnot through that show. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they're gonna save it for books. A lot of that stuff gets saved for books and comics. You know, but I want to see that shit in live action.
Hey, what I really want to see when it hits live action is the Accolade. I'm waiting on that because I hope they finally bring in the actual Sith planet. Like, where's Korriban at? The Accolade gotta take.
The Acolyte, I'm not sure if it. I still don't. I'm not fully. I don't fully understand where it takes place at and what it's supposed to be. Enlighten me, y'all. Like, do y'all know?
I don't know too much about it either because there really isn't, like, when you go and look at it, there really isn't that much information.
Right.
It's really just about, like, I think it's just about, like, the Accolade is really, that's another term for an apprentice.
Yeah.
It's centered around like the Sith universe and like a batch of apprentices or one main apprentice for a Sith Lord. I'm not sure where in the timeline that.
And I've heard that it's actually High Republic, and that's going to be the first like live action High Republic era, which is like 1,000 years before the Skywalker saga. So like I just don't know, man. But I think the next thing up is what's the next show they got coming out? Skeleton Crew, live action. I'm talking.
Yeah, Acolytes takes place High Republic era. It lasted from 418 years and ended around 50 years before the beginning of Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So, so the Accolade. So, I forgot because that's the direction they said they were taking it in. The High Republic.
Well, I mean, and I get that because I get like, Mark Hamill's gonna, I hate to say it, but I mean, these people are gonna die one day. You know what I mean? Like, Carrie Fisher's already gone, and I get that. But they also just did Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker without Mark Hamill pretty much. They used his face a little bit, but his voice was completely AI in the Mandalorian. And they did a really good job in the Mandalorian. You could tell he was a little bit off, you know what I mean? Like not Book of Boba Fett, but Mandalorian season 2, when the reveal came, everybody loved it. That was my favorite moment of Star Wars at that time, bro. Luke coming back. But like you could still, when you look back at that, you can still kind of see like it's a little weird looking. But when they did it with Book of Boba Fett, bro, like they had it down, bro. It was just they just need a couple more years, bro. And they're probably at that point now to where they could get like a full on Luke Skywalker. That's probably why they're waiting on this Thrawn movie, bro. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean? Because they better bring Luke in for that Thrawn movie, bro. And I want to see Luke bad, bro. Like as a full-fledged Jedi Knight, Luke Skywalker, like bringing down Star Destroyers type, Star Killer type shit. You know what I'm saying?
We need that Luke Skywalker. We need the Gladiator Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, Return of the Jedi was the beginning of that. You know what I mean? And then
that was the beginning of him being a Jedi Master.
And right now is when he's really in his prime Jedi knighthood. You know what I mean? Like Master. I don't know if he's considered a Master yet, but he's, as far as up until Ahsoka and all that, and all these other extra survivors of Order 66, he was the last Jedi. So I mean, we don't really know, like how everybody up at that point, to that point, 2018, or was it 2018 when that came out? 2017 when Last Jedi came out. He was the only Jedi left. You know what I mean? But now we know that there was like all these other survivors. You know what I mean? Like,
now we got Ezra. Now we got Cal. We got all.
That's why I want to look into the lineages.
Yeah,
Because now there's so many new ones. There used to be like 5, and now there's 60.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm excited, bro.
So actually, and I just pieced this together in my brain as we're weaving through this conversation of Star Wars. I want to touch back on, because it looks like we're almost out of time. I want to touch on the base of when you were talking about the Rey movie and what you think that they're going to do. Do you remember the end of the Star Wars movie when they brought in the children?
Oh, you mean The Last Jedi, where they brought the kids out at the very end? Yeah. Yeah, when they had a little broom boy. Like
That's what they're setting it up for, bro.
Yeah, the broom boy that just disappeared.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. They left so much from The Last Jedi untouched, you know what I mean? Because they felt like there was a lot of backlash, I feel like. But, like, I thought Rose was kind of a cool character, bro. I also thought the broom boy would have been a cool addition. They left a lot. They just tried to please the fans too much, and it didn't work at all with Rise of Skywalker, bro. They should have just kept doing what they were doing. You know what I mean?
Unpack from the Rise of Skywalker further. A lot of questions, a lot of dead ends, because they'll kind of need to answer the questions. But it's like, like a lot of these questions that people are asking, they're key questions that like need to be answered.
Yeah, and they do that in books and comics and stuff. But like, we need, you know what I mean? Like, we need better answers.
I still also feel like they are trying to set up some kind of new Jedi Order, because they got, all of those kids, and then you got the new, like, I don't know, bro. They're just jumping back and forth with the new people.
Yeah, and then like the Balin skull thing with just like the whole gray, not totally dark, not totally light type thing. Like,
I don't think he's good at all. Like, he stated the fact that he really isn't good, but like he's not
evil either.
Yeah, and he also stated that he wasn't really doing this for Thrawn. He was doing it for a purpose.
Yeah. Which we did theorize last week that it could be Aboleth that he brings back. But I just feel like there's a lot of the gray stuff is gonna come out. But I don't know. Remember he was like, Balin said something about like it's just the same thing over and over. The Jedi rise, the Jedi fall. The Sith take over, the Jedi fall, and it's just an endless cycle. And that's what he's trying to stop.
Yeah, he's trying to stop the plague of like, you come, you go, you come, you go, and then we just invade, and then it stays like this for years, and then we fall, and you come back forever.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Fucking Ouroboros.
What'd you say?
The fucking Ouroboros.
Say that one more time.
Snake that eats it. The Ouroboros. The Ouroboros. It's a fucking Ouroboros. Snake that just eats its own tail, going around and around and around and around and around and around.
Right.
And around.
Yeah. I got you. Okay.
It's an Ouroboros.
Yeah.
True though, because it's always the same. Jedi are too weak to actually be the aggressors in the situation when it's time to actually stop the evil from happening. And the Sith just get so greedy that they never know when enough is enough, and they always get caught. They always get that last leg because you got enough power and you feel like you need more on top of what you got, and then that's when you start getting sloppy.
Yep. So I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen with the Rey Jedi Order. Like, is it gonna be more gray, or is it gonna be, because her character is so light? I feel like we're talking in earthly terms. Obviously they didn't know they were gonna do all this gray Jedi shit at that time. You know what I mean? But how, I wonder how they're gonna tie all that in, like all this new knowledge we got in now with the Rey stuff. And then, you know what I mean? Obviously, we got the Filoni movie, and then we got the High Republic movie. But the Rey, that's going to be... I'm kind of interested in the Rey one, because they could really kill that shit, like, in a good way, bro. Like, if they could do Finn right, they could really do it. They could really redeem the whole sequel trilogy with that, you know? You never know.
I hope they do, because, like again, love me some Star Wars, so the sequel trilogies were really not that bad. Mm-hmm. They just could have unpacked a lot more, and they could have answered a lot more questions. That's what that is to me when it comes to the sequel trilogies. If they would have just answered a lot more questions, instead of leaving us, but now we got movies that are years in between.
Right.
And so we kind of all have to, like, puzzle piece it together.
And in a way it sucks because it's like we know how it ends now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, now we have this new avenue of this new galaxy. So it's like there's more possibilities now at the same time. You know what I mean?
We don't know what could be out there now.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff out there. Obviously, there are like ruins and other old factors and old functions on this planet.
Yeah.
I really wish they would jump into the whole thing that that one little episode they did where Yoda went to go find the Force people and tried to become immortal. I really wish they would have touched base on those guys. They were just Force wielders for the planet.
Yeah, the Wills.
Yeah, I wish they would have touched base on that because he never completed that mission.
I forgot about the Wills, bro. Yeah. Because they mentioned the Wills in Rogue One too. They the Asian dude and then the other guy. They were like the guardians of the Wills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could bring the Wills in because I mean, I feel like that's gonna sort of tie into the whole Gods of Mortis thing. You know, with the father, the son, the daughter. You know, the Wills are like the protectors of that, I believe, or you know, something like that. But yo, do y'all have anything?
The Wills were. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, say what you're gonna say. I was gonna say, do y'all have anything else you want to say?
I was thinking that the Wills were George Lucas's original inspiration before they created the Ones, like the explanation behind the Force before they developed the Mortis gods.
It kind of was, but like they could still, you know, obviously they were talking about it in Rogue One, so I mean, obviously, I mean, we saw it in
it's still
Clone
around.
Wars or Rebels.
It's canon.
Yeah, they're still they're there. But yeah, man. So y'all have anything else you want to say for this week, man? Revenge of the Nerds, man.
Revenge of the Nerds. For me, it's I really hope they spearhead and start getting some stuff and capitalizing on the accolade because one, not only am I very interested in Sith culture, I'm really interested to see where they go and how much of the Sith they explain because this is the old stuff. So I really want to know. I've been watching, like I'm on subscribe to, you know, that whole thing, comicbook.com, where I get those things all the time where they talk about the High Republic. And I've been on these posts every time and I've been looking and watching it. It's like, dude, that's the only thing I'm interested in right now is the accolade. Who are going to be the people? What are going to be the main characters? Who are the Sith going to be? How is this going to set up the High Republic? Like, dude, I need the details.
I really hope it's Keanu Reeves as Revan.
Yeah, yo, I've heard that rumor too. I hope he's somebody.
Man is in Star Wars. The franchise is gonna blow up harder than Taylor Swift in the NBA.
Swear. I'm telling you, it ain't going nowhere.
Where?
So all right, yeah, man. So Spot, you got anything else?
Man, I just really, really hope that we get to see R2-D2 planning fake memories in C-3PO.
That would be awesome, bro. And explain to the audience like how he's really doing that.
Yeah, for real.
That would be fun. Because R2-D2's always kind of been a little asshole anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, so hell yeah, man. That would be fucking cool, bro. Well, shit. All right, guys. Well, this has been episode 3, the HolocronCast. We'll be back next week. Once again, my name is Delusional. That's Young Hippie. And that's Spot. Yo, like, subscribe, share, you know, the whole blah, 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 like, bullshit. All the whole YouTube motherfucking podcast shit that y'all do, man. We want you to do that with our shit, too. All right, y'all. We up out of here. Y'all be safe.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
Peace.